So this video is gonna be how to start calisthenics for beginners. So I'm gonna add timestamps so y'all can go back and rewatch the first certain segment. You can pause it if you need to, stop it, whatever you need to do. And so let's go and get into it. So in order to start calisthenics, you need to know what it is. Calisthenics is a form of training in which you use your body weight to build muscle and strength. So using your body weight as resistance instead of weight. You can train anywhere, anytime. You can train in your room. You can train outside at the park, at the gym if you want to. You just train whatever. So now that you know what it is, you know the different types of calisthenics you can do. You got static, endurance, sets and reps, weighted, and freestyle calisthenics. So all these are different forms of calisthenics that you can choose from. You can pick any route you want to, you know what I'm saying? So it all just gonna depend on your goal, like what's your main goal for doing calisthenics. So let's go ahead and get into that too. You need to determine your goal for calisthenics. So like I previously said about different types of calisthenics, you can use those to get a clear understanding of what path you might want to take and how you want to go about, with your journey. So it all just kind of depends on what your main goal is for calisthenics, whether it's to achieve skills, get super strong, whether you want to build muscle, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. So it just all comes down to what you want to do. If you want to, like I said, get strong and form skills, then static probably gonna be your go-to. You want to get good at performing high sets and high reps of exercises, then endurance and sets and reps might be your go-to. Also for strength-wise, you pair up that with weighted, and if you just want to kind of learn stuff on the bar, like how to swing on the bar, do cool tricks and all that, then freestyle is gonna be your go-to. So now that you got clear on your goals, you really just start learning the basic movements of calisthenics. So it's 8 basic movements. You got push-ups, pull-ups, dips, chin-ups, plank, hollow body hold, squats, and calf raises. All these are compound movements which work multiple muscle groups at a time, indirectly and directly. So these are the 8 basic movements that you need to actually build your foundation and actually start with calisthenics, because without these, you won't be able to do no skills in the future, and they just a necessity, you know what I'm saying? Any house without a foundation is gonna fall. So now that you know the basic movements, let's talk about the main function of each exercise. For the most common and widely known exercise in calisthenics, which is push-ups. Push-ups is for building upper body pushing strength and building up your upper body muscles, such as pectorals, also known as chest, triceps, and anterior delts, or the outer parts of your shoulders, and your core. Next, we got dips, which is similar to push-ups. Its function is to also build upper body pushing strength. It mainly works the chest, triceps, front delts, or the front of your shoulders, and your core. So next, we got pull-ups. The function for the pull-ups is to build upper body pulling strength and strengthen the back muscles. The muscles it works is the latissimus dorsi, or the lats, the traps, and the rear delts. Next, we got chin-ups. And like pull-ups, its function is also for building upper body pulling strength. The main muscle it works is the biceps, lats, or latissimus dorsi, and rhomboids, and your core. So next, we got the elbow plank and the hollow body hold. So both of these really got the same function. They both strengthen the core, and the muscles they work is the abdominal or the ab muscles. So next we got squats. Squats function is to build the lower body strength and strengthen the hip and leg bones and joints. It's also great for building everyday functional leg strength that you can use throughout the day. It helps you look and feel good too, because who don't want to look good down there? The main muscles the squats work is the quadriceps, also known as the quads, the gluteus maximus, or the glutes, hamstrings, hip flexors, and abductors, or the groins and calves. Last, we got the calves. The function for the calves is building strength in the lower part of the legs. It also helps build mobility and strength in the foot and the ankle, and overall balance and control of the lower body. The main muscle it works with is, calves. Now that you know all the basic movements of each basic exercise and how they function and all that, now you need to test yourself. So you're gonna be doing a strength test and see where your current level is, so you'll know where you stand at, and you can go about putting together your personal routine. But before you get to that, you need to do a warm-up. So warming up is very important. You need this before every training session to prevent injury, and so you perform at your peak best every single session. So this is a little warm I like to do myself before every single session. I do each of these for about like 30 seconds each. I start with neck rotations for 30 seconds in each duration. Then I move on to arm rotations, forward and backward for 30 seconds each. Then I do this stretch for my chest for 30 seconds each. Then I move on to side stretch for 30 seconds each. Then I do this stretch to stretch out my groins and hip flexors. And I do those for 30 seconds each. And I do this stretch to stretch out my quads. And last, I do wrist mobility. I'll start with wrist rotations for 30 seconds. So I do the forward wrist leans for about 30 seconds. Then I finish off with the reverse wrist lean for about 30 seconds. So before you get started with strength tests, make sure you grab a notebook and pen and paper or pencil and paper so you can write down your progress. For each exercise, your goal is to achieve 8 reps for 3 sets on each exercise with 30 seconds of rest in between sets and 2 minutes of rest between exercises. Or if you need more rest, then rest until you're ready to start again. And also keep in mind that you want to do each of these slow and controlled to focus on the movement and with good form or your best form, because since you're a beginner, it's a chance that you're not going to be perform a lot of these with perfect or good form. So yeah. So real quick, in case you don't know what sets of reps are the number of repetitions of how many times you do a certain exercise, and sets are the number of times you'll do the exercise in total. So for example, if I'm doing 1 rep in 1 set, going down and pushing back up, for the push-up will equal 1 rep, and since I'm only doing 1 set, that will equal 1 set, and my goal will be complete for the exercise. To give another example, doing pull-ups, pulling up and coming back down will equal 1 rep. And if my goal is to do 3 reps and 1 set of pull-ups, then I would pull up and descend back down 3 times, and that will complete my set. Now starting off with the strength test, you'll be starting off with push-ups. You'll be doing 8 reps and 3 sets for each exercise. If you can't complete each exercise for 3 reps and 3 sets, then you need to regress back to each variation of each exercise. For example, if you struggle with push-ups, then you may need to go back to knee push-ups. That's too hard still, then you go to incline. That's too hard, then you go to wall push-ups. If you had to start from the easier variation, you want to work with these until you're strong enough to do the normal push-up and continue to work your way up. But if you are able to complete 8 reps for all 3 sets, then you are good and ready to move on. And could possibly, if need be, you can make it harder by switching up to a harder variation of each exercise. Now that you know what to do for the strength test, I'm gonna show you how to properly perform each exercise. So start with the push-up, get down to the push-up position, and make sure your back is in a neutral position, and make sure your hands are at shoulder width. Begin to descend down, keeping your back neutral, and touch the ground with your chest. Make sure to not flare your elbows, and keep them pointed inward. Then push back up and extend / protract your scapula like you're trying to round your back, and do this for reps. Next, we got dips. Start by placing your hands on the dip bars at shoulder width, and make sure your hands are even. Push up so your feet aren't touching the ground. Press your shoulders like you're trying to push the ground down. Start by leaning forward just a tad bit and descend down till your chest is slightly above your wrist. So you kind of want to make them align with your wrist. Be sure to maintain the lean throughout the entire movement and begin to push back up till your elbows are fully extended and arms are straight. When you push back up, make sure your shoulders aren't shrugged, but suppress them like I mentioned earlier. Next, we have pull-ups. Start with a dead hang on the pull-up bar. Make sure your hands are at shoulder width and begin to pull up. When pulling up, try pulling your chest to the bar. By doing this, your chin should come over the bar. When doing this, you'll want your elbows to be pointed at an angle but not flared. So by bringing your chest to the bar, bring your chin over the bar, that'll be 1 full rep. And keep your elbows pointed inward at an angle but not flared will make that good form. Next, we have chin ups. So similar to the pull-up, you want to start with a dead hang, but with a reverse grip on the bar. When pulling up, keep your elbows inward and in front of you to keep tension on the biceps. Try to pull your chin over the bar for each rep. Try not to let your elbows come out because it will take tension off your biceps and you won't be as effective. Moving on to the elbow plank, start in the push-up position. except on your elbows with the protracted scapula and rounded back. Doing this puts more tension on the core and abs and also helps you build scapular strength for skills down the line. So next, we got the hollow body hold. Start by laying on your back, extend your arms above your head, and curve your core to bring your legs and arms off the ground and hold this position. All right, now we got squats. Start with your feet at shoulder width apart and toes pointed outward. Put your hands in front of you to help yourself balance. Begin to descend down the same level as you would when you're sitting on the toilet. Keep your chin up and back straight. Your knees should be pointed slightly outward along with your toes, and your knees should be leveled over your toes. All right, last we got calf raises. Find a wall or anything you can use for assistance, or if you don't need assistance, it's always cool too. Push your feet close together and push up on your tippy toes and try to stay on the ball joint of your feet and do this for reps. So now we got that out of the way, I'm gonna list some variations easiest to hardest for each exercise beginner wise. So you can implement these into your, your routine. So say if you did a strength test and you couldn't really do pull-ups, then it's an easy variation for pull-ups you'll be able to do. Or for push-ups, same thing. So yeah. All right, so first we got push-ups. So going from easiest to hardest, you got wall push-ups, incline push-ups, push-up negatives, knee push-ups, normal push-ups, wide arm push-ups, diamond push-ups, archer push-ups, one arm push-ups, decline push-ups, pike push-ups, and elevated pike push-ups. Going easiest to hardest, from pull-ups, we got bodyweight row, Australian pull-ups, elevated bodyweight rows, elevated Australian pull-ups, pull-up negatives, band assisted pull-ups, pull-up, wide arm pull-ups, closed grip pull-ups, archer pull-ups, and explosive / high pull-ups. For chin-ups, you have Australian chin-up, elevated Australian chin-up negatives, band assisted chin-ups, commando chin-up, weighted chin-ups, explosive / high chin-ups, and that's it for chin-ups. For the dips, you got feet assisted bench dip, dip negative, band assisted dips, deep dips, explosive dips, weighted dips, ring dips. For the plank, you got the knee plank, extended plank, elbow plank, weighted plank, hollow body hold. You got tuck hollow body hold, advanced tuck hollow body hold, the hollow body hold, weighted hollow body hold. For squats, you got chair assisted squat, wall squat, the squat, jump squat, chair assisted pistol squat, pistol squat. Calves, you got feet inward calf raises, feet outward calf raises, feet elevated calf raises, single leg calf raises, and weighted calf raises. All right, so now you got all the information, you know the different exercise variations you got performing your exercise. So we're gonna get into putting together your own routine, but first let's talk about the training splits that you choose from. So a training split is how you're gonna divide your workouts throughout the week, either by body region, movement specific, or specific body part, you know what I'm saying? So you got a couple different ones you can choose from. You got the PPL, or short for push-pull legs, which is a pretty common one that everybody uses when they start fitness. You got the full body routine or training split, upper body, lower body split, and the one I personally use myself, which is the bro split. So starting out with the push-pull leg split, with this split, you'll be training 5 days a week with 2 days of rest, which is good since you're hitting everything twice a week, which you need to, which is effective for the strength and muscle gain. Next, we got the full body split. With this one, you'll be training 2 to 3 times a day and resting 4 to 5 days a week. So this one's good for somebody who's not really, flexible with their time, don't have a whole lot of time to work out. So, this one's good for that one. Next, we got the upper body, lower body split. With this one, you'll be training at least 4 days a week and you'll be getting 3 days of rest, which is pretty good. And then last, you got the bro split. So with this split, you'll be training like 5 days a week. I kind of recommend you do this one later on as you get more advanced, when you become more experienced, but you do it how you want to do. This is the one where you'll be training like usually 4 to 5 days throughout the week, and you'll be training each muscle group individually. So you'll do like a chest day, arm day, back day, etc. All right, now I'm gonna be talking about some pros and cons to each training split. So let's get into that. So next we got the full body split. So the pros to this one is less time consuming weekday wise. It's able to fit better into your schedule since you don't be training like 2 to 3 days a week. It's more beginner friendly in my opinion due to the amount of rest you'll be getting. You don't necessarily have to worry about overtraining depending on how your routine is structured, because you can go a little overboard during your training session even though you're only training 2 to 3 days out the week. You don't have to worry about not hitting each muscle group enough throughout the week either. The cons to it are you may not be able to push to your fullest each training session, because since you are doing full body, it's going to be taxing. It's going to cause you to fatigue. Depending on how you structure the workout, you can have some full body soreness. You possibly could be fatigued and not be able to complete your workouts depending on how you structure it. So you got to be mindful about that. Next, we got upper body, lower body split. Pros to this one is it allows you to focus on one section of the body. It helps you focus on a few muscle groups at a time and allows you to reach a higher volume of total weekly training.
Another good pro to it is that it allows a good balance between upper body and lower body training.
The cons to it are you have less flexibility throughout the week since you'll be training like 4 days out the week. It's more time consuming of your day because it can take a long time since you're training your entire upper body and your entire lower body.
So another con is that you might be fatigued and still tired going into your next training session.
All right, next we got the push-pull leg split. The pros of this one is it allows you to focus on one muscle group per training session. It's pretty simple and easy to follow. You'll be hitting each muscle group twice per week. So the cons to it is that it's very time consuming throughout the day and throughout your week. You're going to your next training session fatigued, so you might not have the energy due to you putting all your hard work in on your previous push day. So going to the pull day, you might be fatigued and tired. And last, we got the bro split. So this is one that I'll recommend you kind of jump into later on when you become more experienced and you start incorporating skills into your routine. Since this is like more of a bodybuilding type routine, example this one would be is like Monday you might do chest, Tuesday you might do legs, and Wednesday you might do, whatever. And you just keep running like that. With this one, you usually train 4 days out the week with 3 days or 2 days of rest. And this is when I personally use myself now, since I'm more like on a more advanced level. But if you think this is one that you might want to incorporate your beginning stages, you can try it out, see how you like it. Pros is you get a chance to really focus on and develop a certain body part. It makes it easy to kind of structure your routine since you're only focusing on one body part. And some cons to this one is it can be time consuming, give you less flexibility throughout the week. Could cause you to go into your next training session sore or not at your best depending on what you do. Could cause an imbalance in training volume if not equally balanced, and most imbalances due to neglection of body parts. And lower training frequency of each muscle group, which most likely won't be a problem since everything is compound movement in calisthenics. So these are some pretty good splits that I recommend to people. There's other splits out there, but these are like the main ones that are most common. I've seen good results from all of them. I tried all of them, tested each one out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to really experiment and figure out which one is best for you. So I wouldn't say one is superior over the other, one is better than the other. It just comes down to what's best for you.
But if I did have to pick a split for beginners, I would say the full body split, just because it's easy to manage, can incorporate a good amount of rest days, which is very important. And yeah, it's just kind of easy to keep up with. Now you got all that, you really started putting together your own routine. So I'm gonna give you some examples of each workout split so you can kind of get an idea of how you want to structure it. Quick thing to add in is it's best to add high intensity and low intensity exercise into your routine. You know what I'm saying? So instead of just having all high intensity exercises or all low, you want to have like a mix of both. So for example, if I'm doing like a push or a push day, I'll start with the high intensity exercise like elevated like push-ups and finish off with low intensity exercise like push-ups or knee push-ups, something like that. It's best to do it this way since you are more fresh and your energy level is at the highest and able to push harder in the beginning of the workout routine. So you won't be so gassed out trying to do these low intensity exercises first. Then when you get to the higher intensity exercises at the end, you'll be gassed out and won't be able to, perform at your best. So we got an example of the full body split. The training days I chose was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you usually want to have at least like 3 to 5 minutes of rest for high intensity exercises between sets and 1 to 2 minute rest for low intensity exercise between sets. Another thing too, you want to make sure you focus on the form and try to do each movement slow and controlled. So as you can see, for pushing, I got knee push-ups, 3 sets, 10 reps, 3 to 5 minute rest, and feet assisted bench dips, 3 sets. So yeah, and these are all the exercises I got listed for this one. You can do it however you want to do. These just a little example. You can use these if you want to. Same concept for all the other splits. You got push pull legs. Here's an example of this one I would do. Here's another example of the upper body, lower body split. So you can check this one out, see how you like it. And last, we got an example of the bro split. All right, so before we wrap it up, I want to cover this quick topic about progressing in calisthenics. The way you do this is progressive overload. You progressive overload by switching up the exercise variation, adding weight to the next exercise, lowering the rest time between sets, increasing time under tension during exercise, increasing the number of sets and the number of reps. An example of this would be if I'm doing 5 push-ups a day for a week straight, then the next week I would aim to do 6 or 7 reps for the week. The whole purpose of doing progressive overload is to prevent from hitting plateaus and keeping consistent strength and muscle gains / hypertrophy gains. You don't really know when you need the progressive overload is when everything starts to get easy, or you go by like a general thing that people do when you do like 15 and 20 reps of each exercise. Once you hit that, you start making it harder by switching the variations and all the other ways I said. But yeah, I mean, that's about it for today's video. That's gonna wrap it up. That's the whole blueprint that you need to start calisthenics. Pretty simple, not too crazy, not too much. So yeah, appreciate y'all watching this video, and I'll catch y'all in another one.